I think it's important to look that there are a full portfolio and end-to-end solutions. And of course, normally in the beginning it's going to be critical to have the terminals in place. Also have 5G phones. Another aspect is that in the early phases of 5G, there will be a non-standalone solution, which means the system needs to interact with the legacy to create the 5G service. So I think that's also an important factor to factor in.
That's obvious that most of the operators is trying to build a multi-vendor solution. Is that issue also the point to look some specific points, and how Huawei is able to let's say survive in the multi-vendor environment when talking about 5G infrastructure?
I think all the vendors, they sort of have interoperability testing. You have testing within the NGMN organization, for example. You see that all the bits and pieces can interact with each other. And of course, you need to have a multitude of phones that need to interact with the systems, and that must of course be tested beforehand. And I think it's the same thing for 4G. I mean, the same type of interaction that we're looking for.
I see. And as far as I know, Huawei is doing several pilots already with some operators. What are results? What are some specific points you can share with that? Is there any unexpected things or expected things?
No, I think the big thing with 5G is of course the increase in capacity, that we can deliver more bytes per dollar, if you like, and that has now been verified, that massive MIMO works in a real network environment. I think that is probably the most important takeaway from the test so far.
These pilots, were they processed in some clear zone? I mean, 5G only, or you have only some tests in some natural environment when 5G are combined with legacy networks for test purposes?
This is a new frequency band. So of course that is a clean environment, but then again you have this non-standalone solution, which means that you interact with other bands, the legacy equipment, and that of course operates in other bands. So you have this sort of connection with existing infrastructure.
And I suppose you have already tested which includes the NR usage on the old frequency bands. Does it? I mean, using the NR.
There's been testing of, we will see reforming of existing bands towards 5G, and there will be mix of 4G and 5G, for example, in the 1800 band. And that has been tested, and we have a special solution also for this called Cloud RAN that can actually mix both standards in the same band.
And how is the impact of spectrum efficiency when you replace the old technology with NR?
I mean, an important characteristic of 5G is the higher spectrum efficiency. So you have a higher spectrum efficiency inherently in the area interface, and also, of course, using massive MIMO, which is sort of the big technology shift that also will increase spectrum efficiency.